The first LNG tanker has set sail in Canada, and government officials are chalking this one up as a win both for climate and for reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, but that could not be further from the truth. The project that Mark Carney says will turn Canada into an energy superpower will only wreak havoc on the planet and keep giant profits to oil CEOs. Let's break down what's happening. LNG stands for liquid natural gas and is often marketed as clean or climate solution despite its massive emissions footprint. Liquefying and exporting gas is extremely energy intensive. Canada's first phase alone will emit roughly 4 million tons of CO2 equivalent per year at the terminal, instantly making it BC's single largest point source of greenhouse gases. And here is a nasty hack. When gas is sent to Asia and burned in power plants, the CO2 release will not count towards Canada's emissions, but will rather be counted in the country wherever the LNG is burned. This clever accounting allows Canadian politicians to claim progress in slashing Canada's domestic emissions while still profiting from fossil fuels that wreck the planet elsewhere. A key selling point for LNG Canada and similar projects has been economic reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, a promise that resource development partnerships will uplift First Nations economically. But not all Indigenous groups affected by LNG projects have consented, and despite what Carney claims, this is in no way an equal partnership with Indigenous peoples. This selective narrative is classic tokenization, using some Indigenous voices to legitimize projects while marginalizing others. And when it comes to mainstream media coverage, they are not connecting the dots. Most coverage of the first LNG shipment was largely congratulatory, emphasizing the economic and geopolitical angle while glossing over the implications for climate. On the same day that the first LNG shipment launched, a wildfire ignited on Inclepumuk territory near Lytton, a Fraser Canyon village that was obliterated by a fire in the 2021's record heat wave. Many local outlets actually carried the Lytton fire story alongside the LNG launch news, which was a jarring side-by-side comparison of climate disaster and fossil fuel triumphalism. There was no acknowledgement that these crises are directly fueled by continued fossil fuel expansion. By branding LNG projects as reconciliation, governments are attempting to deflect criticism. But what we've seen is a growing Indigenous-led pushback stating that reconciliation cannot mean business as usual extraction on stolen land. Many Indigenous peoples are continuing to resist. Another proposed LNG project, Silism's LNG, which is in Nisga'a territory, faces opposition from the neighboring Gittin-Yao hereditary chiefs, who last year set up a blockade to halt preliminary pipeline work. They are trying to imagine a different future, one in which our government prioritizes Indigenous sovereignty and the right to a safe world over endless destruction and corporate profit.